This is our What Now series. We're going to talk about what now. If you are brand new, a beginner to the shelling community, and it's something that you want to learn, but you're afraid what's going to happen if you mess up, whatever, um, it's easy. We've all messed up, and that's how we learn. What I want to do today to get you started is to go over basic shells, the most popular shells that people are using. We can talk about also how you get them, how you can acquire them, and also what do you do with them. So we're going to start from the basics today, and I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button because I do think that um, if you do that and you stick around for the What Now series, you're going to learn all of the things. You're going to learn the basics. You're going to learn some additional techniques. I'm going to try to have some people on with me to, give you guys some ideas. There's so many things you can do with shells. I'm just going to jump on here and see if I am able to see. Let's see. I keep saying let's see, but I want to see if I can see so I can talk in the chat. Let me put something in the chat and see what happens. Hello. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Yeah, it did. I'm just not able to see what's happening. Hopefully, we are live. Here we go. Let's try that. Sorry, guys. I've never had to watch. I don't know how to watch myself on this thing. Oh, here we are. All right. Now, what I want to do is be able to answer questions should anyone pop on today. If not, you can always watch it later. But if you do watch it later, put hashtag replay in there for me so I know that you were here. All right, let's get started. I want to talk about some of the basic shells. Probably the most popular shell right now is the oyster shell. And with the oyster shell, you have two options. You have what we call a cup. You'll notice it's very deep. It's deep inside, it's rounded. And then we have a flat. Just like the name, it is flatter, much easier to work with. But I'm not saying you can't work with a cup. There's some really great ideas that we can do with that. Another very popular shell is the scallop shell. I make night lights with the scallop shell, paint it, decoupage it, whatever we want to do on the front, maybe metallicize the inside. I've seen people paint them this way. I've seen people paint them this way. They can put them into little, what do you call those little things that it sits on? Anyway, you can do a lot of things with this. And there's different sizes. This is a small one, but they have really large ones as well. And then, of course, we have the quahog shell, which is indigenous to the Northeast. We have a lot of quahogs here, and we make chowders out of them and clam cakes and you name it. So we actually have these on our beaches. They're very, very easy to find. So basic shells. There are a lot of other shells that you can use. The whelk, there's the cockle shells, but I'm not going to get into all of the shells today. I just want to get you started on the basics. Okay, so now what do you do with these shells? How do you decide what to put on the shell? Now, you can just simply paint the shell, leaving in the oyster shell the dark spot. You could put a little pearl there, and you could just, make everything else white and keep it really simple. We might do that today. We will see. But I want to show you some options. One of the options that a lot of people are learning about are stickers. So here is Santa, and here are the stickers. I got these, I believe, at Hobby Lobby. They're out now. I know they are. They've been out for a couple of months, actually. But Santa's real easy. So you can stick him on the shell after you've basically painted it white. Stick him on the shell. And what I've done here is use the UV resin. We're going to address UV resin totally in another What Now series, probably in 2 weeks. But today, I just want to show you all of your options. So that's Santa, and that's how he looks when he's all done. Here's another sticker. This is a cup of an oyster shell. It's a tiny one. I got these at the Dollar Tree. Merry Christmas. They make adorable little housewarming gifts if you're going somewhere for the holiday and you're having dinner or lunch with a friend. It's a cute little gift to bring. I also added a little bow in the corner. Just pretty. All right, so that's from the Dollar Tree. Here's another one from the Dollar Tree, and these are very, very popular. Cardinals. At the holiday, everybody loves cardinals. So this is a really beautiful one to do. Again, I just put the sticker on. I added a couple of the little greeneries. I did use a metallic before I did it, and then I trimmed it also with a paint marker. I'm going to go into that in 2 weeks as well. So all of the extras will be happening later. Right now, I just want to show you your options. You may not have realized that you can use stickers. It's so much fun. All right, next, one of the most popular things to use is a napkin. So let me just show you. Here's one that I did with a napkin. I did it this way because I'm going to make a wine stopper out of it. So this is what I'm going to be making, and I will be teaching you how to make these also in this series. You're not going to believe how easy it really is. Anyhow, that's the napkin, and this is what I did. Another napkin. Oops. I took this pretty napkin. I used what we call the water method, and I'm going to show you that also. I might show that to you today, but use the water method. I take the image off of the napkin, and then of course you have to take all the plies off to make sure you end up with just the image. And then we will Mod Podge it on the shell, seal it. I trimmed it and I put some diamond dust in there. So that's another option that you can do. All right, that's a beautiful napkin. Here's another napkin. Took this napkin and made the shell. Now you notice when the shell is painted white, the image comes off so beautifully. It just pops right off the shell. This actual napkin is a creamy beige, but I still painted the shell white. I added the metallic. I'm going to teach you how to use metallics too. There's a way to do it and a way not to do it. So I'm going to teach you that too. But this snowflake is what you see on here. It actually just flows into the background. Just the gold is left over. I added diamond dust. I did resin over it, trimmed it, and I put a little embellishment. So we're going to talk about all of those extra things later, but I'm trying to show you some of the ideas that you can make. And that's one of the clamshells before we start. Here's another one. This is also a napkin. I use the water method to pull that image out. Mod Podged on, resin over. I put a pearl on it and I trimmed it in gold. And it makes a nice little dish to put your jewelry in. Just adorable. All right, I did this last night so it would be ready for you today. Here's a napkin. Cocktail napkins are a great size for shells. Now, what I did was I water method all of the little fun confetti. I took that off, and I took some other pieces off because I wanted it to fit inside the shell, like so. Now, all I've done here so far I primed the shell, painted it white, added the napkin with Mod Podge, and I sealed the napkin with Mod Podge. That's all I've done. So maybe today we can add the rest. I'm definitely not using UV resin today because I want to make sure I do that with you guys on a whole different class. Now, this is vellum paper. A lot of people ask me about vellum. Vellum is a little bit tougher even than rice paper. Right? Now, you don't have to put vellum on another sheet to run it through your printer. Vellum will go through your printer as is. So if you want to print out your own printables, vellum paper is a great option. Tissue paper is too. You just have to watch. I have a video that teaches you how to print your own images with tissue paper, and it's on my YouTube channel here. I also showed how to print on vellum paper. So this I did with an inkjet. There is absolutely no running. I'm going to show you what it looks like. That has been Mod Podged on and UV resin over. I hope you can see that. Can you guys see that okay? It lags a little bit on my end, so, oh, there you go. That's better. Yeah. And let me just mention quickly about the printables. If you join my free group, it's called Decoupage Shell Art and Coastal Crafts. Decoupage Shell Art and Coastal Crafts. I know it's a long name, but there's a lot of things that we do in this group. Every Friday, I have what we call Freebie Friday, and you'll be able to download the images for that Friday, save them to your computer. You can print them yourself, or you can send them out to Staples. And what you do is you send it in an email to your closest Staples, ask them to print it on vellum paper, rice paper, tissue paper, whatever you want, and just pick it up. It's very inexpensive to do, and it's a great way for you to build your library of printables for free. Okay. In our group, we also have a section of albums where people will sell their napkins. So I want to have resources for you guys. So you're able to go into those albums and see what they have and place orders. I added a couple in last night. I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning, so that's what I was doing, is adding napkins to my Facebook group. All right, this is decoupage paper. Now, I decoupage furniture. I decoupage crafts, lots of home decor stuff. But anyhow, I always save because the decoupage paper is 20 inches by 30 inches. I don't throw anything away. So I'm looking at this beautiful flower, and I'm thinking that we could water method this flower and put it right on the shell. That's what we're going to do. All right, we're going to do that today. The other thing is I have these adorable, these are some rice papers, but let me just take it out and show you the texture so you can see. So it's a little bit more like fabric. It's a little bit more like cloth. And again, it's quite large, but there are so many things that you could pull out of the rice papers, especially when they're in a collage like this. You know, just different pieces would look so pretty. So that's rice paper, and you can see it's a little stronger than tissue paper. All right, but today I want to play with this, and I really want to because I want to show you. Some people just leave this and they use a scissor and they cut. Now, if you're going to use a scissor and cut, this is what I suggest. I'm just going to pull this out for just a minute. I'm just going to pull this out. We can water method after. Let me just cut around this for a second so you guys can see. All right. If you're going to cut, you have to do what they call fussy cut. And fussy cut is like so. You're getting as close as you can to your image, as close as you can, and you're going to just do what they call fussy cut. It's very time consuming, but it's quite beautiful when you're done because all you will have left is the image. All right, so you get the idea. You'll cut the whole thing out as close as you can to the image. But I want to show you another way using the water method. Now, you don't have to get a brush. You can use it with a regular, let's see, you could use a regular brush that you have, dip it in water, and you can do it like that, okay? So you can do the same that way. And you just pull it apart. It's so easy. I'm just going to use my water pen because it is a little easier. The water's already in there. I'm going to show you up close. You just pull the paper away. Now I want that image to stay, so I'm going to hold my finger there so I don't pull into that image. So now you see how we have these rough organic edges? That's what you want. Now let me do straight edge is definitely no, no. No, no. So how do we do that? We have to go into the image a little bit. We're going to just go right along the edge. And when I pull, I'm just going to make it so that it's not a perfectly straight line. All right, it's going to go into the image, but that's okay. We're just getting all around. I'm going to go through here. Let's see. I'm going to go through here. There you go. All right. Now I'm just going to pull it away, keeping the image that I want to put on my shell. And there's that. There's that. Now I'm thinking it would look beautiful here. Oh my goodness, guys. I actually, whoo, isn't that shell beautiful? I think what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to just put the white in the center and I'm going to leave all of this natural. Holy moly, that is beautiful. Okay, let's do that. As you move along, you can just make changes. Now I'm using a white primer. I use Wise Owl because I love it and I also sell it. I only sell what I love. So here we go. I'm going to get this one instead. Okay, so I'm going to dip my brush just a little bit. You don't need a lot. And I'm going to go up under that lip. I just want a white background in some of it. Aren't we lucky that this shell has all of that beauty? There we go. Have you ever done this before? Probably not if you're a beginner, but why not? It's only a shell. Play. There we go. All right, I'm just going to dry it up quick. And while I'm drying it up quick, I just want to make sure you stay to the end because there is a lot more to be told. And I just love sharing some good ideas, especially if you are a beginner. If you join our free group, you're going to have guides where we have tutorials set up for you. And we also have files where we have some freebie printables that are there all the time. In fact, right now, I know that because Christmas is trending, I have the 12 Days of Christmas free for you. So jump on our group today, join, and you'll see everything right there, freebies. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is dry. So now we put this in water. Always keep your brushes in water because you don't want them to dry out. All right, now we're going to add a little Mod Podge. Mod Podge comes in a big container. I put it into a squirt bottle. It's easier for me to handle it. I do a lot of classes with people, and it's just easier to just squirt out a little bit as you go. Now, the problem and the challenge is that people put too much Mod Podge. Too much Mod Podge. I'm only adding a little teeny bit. Notice how little bit I'm using, just a teeny bit. Too much Mod Podge will definitely cause your tissue paper and decoupage paper and napkins to rip, and you don't want them to rip. Actually, I am going to show you in one of our sessions what you do if you do rip it. It's a very easy fix, so stay tuned. Okay, I'm only right now Mod Podging on the white. I want to see what needs to happen next. So let's see. I'm going to stick that up inside. Now, when I have a little bit of a concave, I use a big, fat, fluffy brush. I tap it down and I work it out to the corners. Just working it out to the corners. Now, sometimes you'll see a little teeny wrinkle come. Well, press that wrinkle out. Sometimes you do need to press your finger on it. But I do like to use a fluff brush. All right. The other thing that I like to do, and I'm going to do it now because I think it's an important time to show you, I will spritz just a little teeny bit of water, just a teeny little bit, just a little bit. And when you spritz that, it helps your paper to stretch a little teeny bit, and you won't get as many wrinkles. All right. The other thing that you can use that I probably didn't even put over here, oh, yes, I did. Hang on, it's right here, is plastic. Sometimes I let my students put baggies on their hands. When you have a baggie on your hand, that plastic will not rip as you press. If you use your finger, sometimes it will. It will actually rip the paper. The plastic will not. Just press it out. Nice. You can roll up saran wrap too and use that as a dauber, but I'm just going to use it with the baggie. Okay, so now I didn't put Mod Podge over here, so let's do it. Oops, I almost tipped it into the white primer. Okay, now I put a little bit on the end and I went right over it. Let's see, is this all in? I don't know. Oh, right there. Oops, I keep doing the same thing. Put a little Mod Podge right underneath and then right over. All right. Now we're going to dry this because I'll put my second coat of Mod Podge on after it's dry. This is going to be so beautiful. I love being able to save whatever I can of the nature and the natural beauty of a shell. So many times, look at how beautiful that is. And I've seen where people will take 3 different scallop shells and put them into a shadow box. That's going to be one of our projects as we move through our Whatnot series. So again, this is Roy Cycle Decoupage. I save all of my pieces after I use them for times like this. Now I just noticed there's more area that I did not Mod Podge yet. Remember, I only put Mod Podge where the white primer was. But I like this piece here. Okay, so now we're going to seal it. Start in the center and I work out. You just want a nice seal over your paper. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, I just love this. I love this shell. It's so pretty. Okay. Now, I need to dry it one more time, obviously. Oh, you know what? Why don't we just let it set over here for a minute? And let's get to this guy. I'm not sure if I coded, did I? I think I did last night. So, what I want to do now is trim this. Now, when you look at your shell and you look at your image, you need to decide what color will I put on the edge. Now, my favorites are all of the metallics. I'm going to drop links down underneath too, so if you want to get some of the things that I bought on Amazon, I'll leave the links for you to get them. But this is called Let's Resin Chrome Marker. Now, there's 3 different shades. There's a copper, silver, and a gold. So when I look at my shell and I look at my colors, gold is what sticks out to me because there's a little bit of a gold look in her glass. I call it her probably because guys don't drink those girly drinks, but maybe they do. Anyway, I'm going to trim it with the gold. Now I have used the darker. I have one here to show you. Oh yeah, I do. I used it on this one because I loved the darkness of the acorn. Okay, here we go. Now when you first get your markers, you're going to have to get them started. You shake it really well, and then you hold it down, and eventually the gold starts to come out. Okay. So now, it all depends what you're going to do in this particular area if you're going to put the gold there or not. You'll notice on this shell, I didn't put the silver. I left it white, and I added the diamond dust. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do here. I might add diamond dust at the top of the glass to look like, what do you call it? Like ice cubes and frothy and pretty. So I'm going to go around it for now until I make that decision. All right. Now, what I do when I'm working with a marker, I always anchor myself with my baby finger. I don't know why, but it just kind of helps me so that I don't go all crooked. Just anchor myself with my baby finger. Here we go. So I'm just going along the edge. I can always make it thicker later, but I always start out thin, and then I see how it looks, and I make the decision. Oh, and sometimes I use my other hand. Look at that. I do things without thinking at this point, right? Already it's starting to look more finished. It's starting to look more finished. This is a really, really adorable shell, even for like New Year's. Now I forgot that I went around the corner with my candy cane, which is fun. You can do that too. You can actually wrap the rest of the images around your shell. I just forgot that I did it. I have 3 more napkins to play with. All right. Oh, let me just get this little edge right here. Okay. You can see just a little bit of the gold. And I do think I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. And I'll tell you why. Because of the size of the shell, I feel like a very thin line is just a bit too delicate. I want to make it a little thicker. If it's not flowing enough for you, just press it down and the paint will start to come. There you go. Yeah, I like the thicker a little better. Um, when you do watch the video, if you drop hashtag replay in there, um, I would love it if you'd also just drop in there what you would like to learn, what you'd like me to do maybe at the next couple of whatnot series. I'm going to be doing a lot about color next week, and we'll be actually painting shells again next week. I think it's very important for everyone to, just get a handle on how to do all these things. A lot of people ask me these questions. Sometimes I assume people know, but they don't. When you're learning, you've got to ask questions. So drop in there the questions you have and things that you'd like to learn. Oh, that is looking a little bit better. Beautiful. Now, we're not going to be sealing it today because um, I want to go over with you the different types of sealers that there are, the triple thick, the Duraclear gloss, the UV resin. There are so many ways for you to um, finish this off because that is not finished yet. And what we're going to put over here, I think I might want to put the diamond dust in there again and diamond dust this area. So, but that'll all come next week when we work on even more shells. But look at how pretty this came out. Wow. Let me just hit it one more second. There you go. And that's with our decoupage, recycled decoupage. You can do a lot of shells with recycled decoupage papers. 20 inches by 30 inches. There's a lot of images there. Okay. So another thing that I want to talk about, not necessarily today, but in one of our series, what happens when you start to create and create and create and create and create, and you have so much? What do you do with it? Is it that point that you decide that you want to start selling your shells? And if you do, where do you sell them? How do you sell them? How much do you sell them for? There's a lot of things to discuss, and there's a lot of a range that I see out there in Facebook land. So we'll be discussing all of that, talking about how you can sell your shells, what you can do with them, and how much you can charge for them. So this is just real basic. I hope that you enjoyed this. All the different options that you have. My gosh, there's so many options. There's a little bit for everybody. Um, Anyhow, thank you for being with me today. I truly enjoyed having you, and I hope that you learned something from this particular Whatnot series. Thanks for being with me.